Hello students, how are you? I think you are fine. So in this video, I am going to discuss sense of smell. So sense of smell, so we know that our nose help us to smell, right? So good or bad smell. And here I have pointed out so many things, so we will know about how it works, how we get smell, okay, how can we differentiate bad smell and good smell, and so many things. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so here we all know that just like the other senses, like sense of touch help us to identify the object, our nose help us to identify the good smell and bad smell. Okay, so we get pleasant smell when we walk past a rose or a jasmine plant with flowers on it. However, when we walk past on a seaware or a garbage dump, we get very bad smell, right? So you can see here our nose is helping us to identify good smell and bad smell. But how can we identify the smell? Okay, this is the question. How can we identify the smell? So here are some points. I'm in book it is given elaborately, so I'm pointing some points here, so you see. So tiny bits of chemicals. Okay, so tiny bits of chemicals, suppose when you are smelling a flower, so you can see in this picture, so tiny bits of particles float into our nose through our nostrils. Okay, after entering our nostrils, the air moves up into a space at the top of the nose. That space is covered with special smelling cells. Okay, so the odors stick to this special smelling cells and send message through the nerves to the brain. Okay, so arrow mark you can see. Okay, so when the brain get information, then brain identify the source of smell and tell us about it. Okay, so here you can see I have written all of this point wise. Okay, so that means tiny bits of chemical which float into our nose through our nostrils, so the air moves up into a special smelling cell. So we have a special smelling cells through which the nerve send the message to the brain, and we react on that, and we come to know about the smell. Okay, so now I will tell you about that pleasant smell make us happy. So we used to we like the fragrance of flower, then favorite food. When we get a smell of favorite food, then we feel very happy, right? But some smell like garlic, onion or fish are very strong, and some people, those who don't eat it, so they may not like it. Okay, and there are so many other smell, like decaying of animal, like a dead rat, or smell of an open gutter or human or animal excreta. So these are very bad smell, and this is also called very foul. Okay, that means foul smell means very dirty, okay, unpleasant smell, and which can make allergy. Okay, so some people are allergic or sensitive into certain smells, so hence they cannot tolerate those smells. Okay, so we should understand and avoid making them uncomfortable. Okay, so here you see a good smell has the ability to cover other bad smells. Okay, so many examples are there, like room freshener, perfumes, deodorants, है ना? So then smell of a flower. So all these make us happy, right? So now let's discuss about people with disability. Okay, so earlier we have already discussed about this, so now let's discuss in detail. Okay, so here you see some people who have some problem in knowing their surroundings, so they are called people with disabilities. Okay, so their smell their senses are also very strong. Okay, so you can see here I have written their senses are very strong, like smell, hear, touch and other senses. Okay, so and even the other senses are also very active and well developed. Okay, and this all the senses are very strong in them. Okay, and dogs are also having a sense of very good sense of smell, so that is why they are trained to find and rescue people, then track thieves, or even detect bomb using their sense of smell. Okay, so they are also very having very strong sense of smell. Now I will tell you about people who are blind. Okay, so we know that the people who are blind, they are called visually impaired, right? So for reading and writing, they use a special script that is called braille. Okay, so in this picture you see, this is a braille script. So all alphabets, numbers, then symbols, everything is written here. So blind people are having their sense of touch, because this braille script is done with the raised dots. Okay, so they use a special system known as braille. So this is called braille, and from where it come, because braille is a code developed by Louis Braille in 1824. Okay, so it is a system in which raised dots represent letters and alphabets and numbers. Okay, so the red colors dots you have seen, so that is, you know, raised dots. So by touching that, they can feel what it is and what it is written. Okay, so in this way they can learn and read and write. Okay, so in our Indian currency also, so they are specially embossed geometric shaped symbols by which they know the value of each note. Okay, and they can become independent, and there will be no chances of fraud. Now you see in this picture. Now let's discuss about the people who are impaired of hearing. Okay, so in this picture you see different expressions, right? So those people who cannot hear, so they can understand by our expression. Okay, and those who cannot say, so they can also express their feeling through the expression. So in the first picture, the girl is sad. In the second, the girl is happy, and in the third, the boy is scary. है ना? So this expression tell us about their what feeling. Okay, so in this way, some people can express themselves by showing some expressions. Okay, and not only the expression, there are several steps taken by our government also for the impaired of hearing people, by which they can read news, or they can talk. Okay, so Doordarshan has a daily news reading in sign language for those with impaired of hearing. Okay, so thus we see that a lot of efforts is being made by our to help the people with disabilities, है ना? So here you can see I've written Doordarshan. So Doordarshan has a it is a channel, so by which it is provided by the government. So here daily news is the people who are impaired of hearing, so they can understand the news by the sign language. Okay, so sign language means like this way you can see. So the from the right side, lady is showing some hand movements by which the girl is trying to understand, right? So it is given to make them understand. Okay, so we should not humiliate them, and we should not discriminate those people who are disabled people. So we should give proper respect, and we should treat them equally. Just we have to take a special care, and they need special care. Okay, and if we cooperate with them, then they will also do what we can. Okay, so this video will help you to understand this chapter.